So, you want to play Valkyrie? Well, let me ask you a few questions to see if you're fit to guard the gates of Valhalla. Do you like combos? Do you enjoy complexity? Does this clip both frighten and arouse you? No, just me? I'm not weird, you're weird. If you answered yes, well, you might just have what it takes to be a Valkyrie. Valkyrie is an odd girl. On paper, she looks way overpowered, when in practice, she's more of a middle-of-the-pack character. With long combos, decent damage, and muscles that just won't quit, you have the tools it takes to drive your enemy to the breaking point. Welcome to Valkyrie, Waifu of Valhalla. Valkyrie's moves need some explanations before we get into combos and how to play her, so let's get started. Much like other characters, Valkyrie works in chains of 3. But, unlike other characters, you can reset this with a bash. She has superior light attacks, which means if she light attacks in the same direction of an attack, her light attack will connect and stop your opponent. Think along the lines of a crushing counter, but with stricter timing, and you have to do it a little bit earlier. Like assassins, she has a deflect with a heavy follow-up. If you press guard break as the third attack in the chain, you will perform a sweep. That can be followed up with a heavy attack. If you backdash and press guard break, you can perform a full block, which you can cancel out of by pressing the feint button, or you can let go performing a slow rushing attack. Valkyrie's out of stamina punish is both on guard break or on parry, forward dash light attack, heavy attack, sweep. Valkyrie is the kind of girl where you would take on a first date and you might get caught up over coffee, go for a wondrous walk, a snuggle in the starlight, and then go murder someone in the moonlight. Because, you know, fuck it. What I'm trying to say is Val can play nice, or she can play dirty. The main combo you will be using is just the basic light sweep. Simple, right? Well, let's go deeper.
That's what she said!
And look at the components you can use to quite literally trip some people up with. See what I did there? She's got it. Okay. After the rework, they gave Valkyrie a bash. And it's alright. Yes. Press heavy attack and then guard break to smash someone's teeth in. Much like other bashes, this gives you a free light to follow it up with. But the key is you can't do it from neutral, unlike some other heroes, which makes it much less overpowered. The bash itself is slow and can be dodged with practice. This is a good thing, by the way. So, using it mid-combo when your foe thinks you're gonna throw a light instead is probably gonna be your best bet. As mentioned before, pressing guard break at the end of the chain will cause Valkyrie to throw out a sweep. If it lands, it will deal a hot 35 damage, and if it misses, well, you'll get guard breaked. But, you see this? It kinda somewhat, to some degree, faintly resembles this. So in certain circumstances, you will smack them with the heavy, and it feels good, you know? It feels good. Feels really fucking good! Using your full block stance effectively can get you out of some scary situations. Like, for example... Simply go into full block stance when you see the unblockable bash come out. Then cancel it with a feint. You can either guard break or forward dash guard break to nab your foe for a tasty meal. Speaking of tasty meals, with all these delicious ingredients, we can make a wonderful soup of your opponents. Here are some recipes to get you started. Bash à la mode. Are they parrying your light attacks? Well, use a light attack bash, or bash light for a safer option. Serve this with a heavy knockout soup. Throw the left heavy at the end of the chain instead of the sweep. Or for more damage, you could bash instead of sweeping, followed up by a light into sweep or heavy. Valkyrie gives you a lot of ingredients to mess around with, so get in the kitchen, battlefield, and mess around and see what masterpiece you can come up with. the Tusk of Truth. So, okay, spears aren't really my thing, and they still aren't. I'll probably just keep playing Shaman in my downtime until the Avatar comes out. With that being said, though, the way that Valk plays is damn fun. She's solid in 4s, but not really the best in a 1v1 scenario. She relies on the element of surprise, and doesn't really have a safe opener like Conqueror or Warden. So against somebody who is ready for the bash and can parry lights, you're pretty much done. However, when you do win with Valk, it's super satisfying. Her superior lights are fun to use and, well, they can be kind of awkward at times, but deflecting will always be the ultimate swag move of the game, and I'm happy that she has it. It is a shame that her sweep wasn't touched with the rework. I mean, they gave her a heavy follow-up, but it's still extremely slow. So at high levels, it's just not something you're really ever going to use. So if you're in the market for a new main, she's a solid choice. She's not blatantly overpowered, and if you aren't afraid of a little learning curve, Valkyrie might just be the hero for you. This has been the Tusk of Truth, an honest look at the character and/or game. Did you know that you can wall splat off of the 3rd light in the chain? Well, Buster Brown, you can, and it's weird. If you knock them into the wall and you are far away from them, you get a heavy. If you're too close to them, well, you'll only get a light. Speaking of wall splatting though, if you have your sweep available after a wall splat, it's guaranteed. So as an example, guard break, throw, sweep. Your sweep comes out at different times depending on what move you used last. I know, right? It's almost like Ubisoft didn't know what they were doing. Again! How funny is that? The slowest is after a heavy, and the fastest is after a top light. So use this knowledge for good, not evil. Although I don't really know how you would use that knowledge for evil, considering it's a fact in a video game. Everything Valkyrie does is reactable, so just look for her lights to parry, and keep an eye out for the bash and sweep. If you dodge her bash, be ready to parry the light attack, along the lines of an Ibushi, and if you dodge the sweep, simply guard break. Most Valkyries will fall into autopilot mode, myself included. I actually had a Conqueror tell me I was so predictable, it was painful. That was a wake-up call. So if you start to notice a pattern, learn to identify it and figure out what to do to punish it. This goes for any hero, but Valkyrie especially. Here's an example. If the Valkyrie that you are fighting against throws side light, top light every single time, well, be ready to predict parry the top light the next time he side lights. Simple as that. If you keep a calm head and your reactions on point, you won't have much of a problem dealing with the spam. Valkyrie is probably the most complex hero in the game, until Monkman shows up. She can take some getting used to, but once you get the flow down, moments of awesomeness just seem to come out of this character.
That's what she said.
I actually have caught myself saying, "That was nasty," out loud to myself like a crazy person while playing Valkyrie. But if you want to ignore everything I've just said and get some cheap kills, light, top light, sweep, or left heavy. Thanks for joining me in Valkyrie, Waifu of Valhalla. Take care, you watermelon crushing bastards. Hey guys, just 2 things really quickly. Number 1, thank you so much for all the support lately, it really is mind-blowing. And number 2, I have started to stream 3 days a week, Monday, Wednesday, Friday. I'm not sure if I'm going to be streaming on YouTube or Twitch primarily, so you can either follow my Twitter as _flyingwalrus to know when I'm going live. You can follow me on YouTube, which is the middle button of your screen right now, plus the little notification bell. Or you can also follow me on Twitch as Flying Walrus Man. Thank you guys again. Video on the left, just for you. Video on the right, latest from the channel. Thank you guys.